Peace and blessings, Divine. So I want to talk to you about our pets that we have as a society become way too comfortable with. And I'm speaking of us having our dogs, especially because that's the most common pet that people keep inside their homes. But I want to talk about this because for us Black people, this is not something that's normal. This is something that we have learned. So it's a learned behavior that we have learned from other members of the dominant society. This is not natural to us, but being that we live in the society, we have been influenced by a lot of things that is not natural for us. We've always been a clean people, and we've always seen dogs as unclean, and we never did we allow dogs into our in our homes where we live, where we cook, prepare our meals. We're keeping these dogs inside of our homes, and our homes are supposed to be our sanctuaries. Just as you would go into your church or your mosque or your temple, those places, they're supposed to be purified. And our homes are supposed to be the number one sanctuary. Purified, meaning clean in every way, shape, form, and fashion, not just spiritually, but physically. And there's no way for our homes to be clean if we are cohabitating with beasts, which are animals, the four-legged creatures. That's what separates, one of the things that separates the animals from human beings is the fact that we are able to thoroughly cleanse ourselves. And just our nature, the way that we're created and made, is not the same as an animal. Animals are breeders and carriers of all kinds of disease and illnesses. Number one, when animals, they go outside, they use the restroom, they use the restrooms. Dogs don't use restrooms, but they poop, they pee. They're not able to wipe themselves thoroughly down there. What do? They go back into our home and they drag their bottoms, when they sit. That urine, that poop is still in essence there, and they're dragging that on our floors, getting on our furniture. Some of us allow our pets on our furniture and even countertops. Dogs also lick themselves down there. They lick their fur, their hide, and then we turn around and allow them to lick us on our skin. So they say that, well, dogs are cleaner than human beings, and that's just a false statement. And even on top of that, dogs have an odor, a very distinct odor that us humans do not have, and it's not a pleasant odor. It's an animal beastly odor. And I know some of you may say that, well, I do groom my dog, I wash my dog, he gets his vaccines and this and that, but it doesn't matter how much you wash a dog, that odor is still remaining in it, and it smells in the home. I know when I go into other people's homes, I have family members that have dogs, I automatically pick up on that odor. I can smell that dog. And these are people that I know for a fact so-called groom and clean their animals, on a regular basis, but it's still that odor. It's a very distinct odor that I can smell, and they're just immune to it because they're around it so much that they don't even smell it anymore. So like I always say, cleanliness is not next to godliness. Cleanliness is godliness, and there's just no way that our homes can be clean in the way that it's supposed to be and healthy if we are cohabitating with dogs. Now, when I was a kid, we did have a couple of dogs growing up, but they had their space outside of the home. They had their own dog houses, and they were fenced in outside. They never came into our living space. Dogs, when they go outside, they're eating all kinds of insects and rummaging through trash and even eating other animals, and they bring that into your home, and it's just unclean. So this is something that we need to think about and reconsider. I know a lot of people are attached to their pets, and I'm not pet bashing, I'm not a dog hater by any means, but I do believe that they have their place, and I don't think it's inside of our homes. And on top of that, for all of my animal lovers or animal rights people, it becomes an issue as well because when we confine pets to our homes, we are very much limiting them. in their natural in the natural way that they're supposed to live. You know, they're supposed to be free like us people. And I think a lot of times, especially with some of your more aggressive animals like the pit bulls, the Rottweilers, and all of that, just taking them outside on a walk or letting them go outside for a couple of hours during the day is not enough. They feel like human beings. They feel like their rights and their freedom and their space is being limited. And so they react, you know, they get frustrated as well. And especially as the older they get, and especially the more aggressive the dog breed is. And that's just something to take and consider for all of my animal rights people. Are you truly for their rights if you keep them confined to be just your pet inside of your home, and you add to that aggression when you limit their mobility and their freedom like that? I don't know, just that's just the extra for all my animal rights people. But certainly that is still something to consider, because there have been and more increasingly, you know, dog attacks, especially on little children inside of the home, and even, you know, just neighbors and people out and about walking their dogs or whatever. But yeah, dogs are not clean. Our homes are supposed to be our first temple. They're supposed to be our, you know, purified, and it's our sanctuary, and it's where we supposed to keep it clean in more ways than one. You know, spiritually and physically, our homes are supposed to be clean. So yeah, until next time, peace and be blessed.